See, that's the problem right there. Mel, you know how some people are mean drunks. Mel is a mean sober.
I know, really. He's much more fun when he's drunk.
He much more angry and rambunctious without no liquor. He's thinking about all that he's trying to do and all his goals and the money he's shelling out for his girls, and he just be like, I
know. I better watch it. I'm putting chapstick on early, baby. You know I got something to say when I'm putting the chapstick on.
Hey, look, and Rob was like, "We rolling? Okay, good. I can start."
That's right.
Hey, let's believe Rob started before we was rolling.
Hey, he claimed he wasn't drinking, Mel. He claimed he wasn't pouring until we started.
Right, But Mel,
thanks everybody. That's what you drinking, Rob?
I'm drinking champagne, but I bought an extra bottle for Mel.
Oh, you
is that champagne or is that sparkling wine? Is it actually from the Champagne region?
It is actually from the Champagne region as well. So
okay, all right, that's different.
That's different. I did say that I was going to do sparkling wine. I think I said Prosecco or something.
You know what I'm saying? But people out here talking about I'm popping champagne. No, you're not.
Hey,
right.
No, you aren't. That's not what you're doing.
Boy, Mel is on one tonight. Mel, you need to do a whiskey clean.
Hey, I just want to tell y'all are so crafty and intentional. Like I'm looking behind Rob, and he got a little, man cave paraphernalia behind him with live, love, and got his heart up there. Glenn got the book promotion behind him. Y'all do. All I got is a camera on the coffee table. And
right. I got a couple bottles of cologne and some stereos.
You got the cap. You got a mascot. You got the man cave.
Hey, Kerry, you need to have your axe on a stand behind you or something.
I used to do that.
So can I share something?
Yes, you can.
I'm excited because this is our 20th show.
Yeah.
This is the Dub Club right here, baby.
Indeed.
This is show number 20. We had 2 weeks off. So for 22 consecutive weeks, well, not consecutive, but for 22 weeks, we've been doing the Man Cave. And when we open up, folks, for those of you that are brand new that are watching, I know I sent invites out to a lot of new people that I just met in different communities. We just kick the bobos in the beginning, you know what I mean, before we dive in and introduce ourselves and our guests and all of that other stuff. But this is 20 shows. Like, we have been your pandemic entertainment for 20 weeks.
Hey, look, and it looks like we're going to continue.
Right. Congratulations, brother.
You're not done with us at all.
You guys are doing a great thing.
Henry said congratulations, but man, I have to tell you, thank you for your contribution, because your appearance, man, was one of the best shows I think we've had in a long time, and we had some great shows. Had some great shows before yours and since yours, but I also want to give you kudos, man, because you are one dude who not only did you come on, share some gems, but weekly, man, we can almost predict you being on set, man, chiming in, supporting us, encouraging us. And I don't know that any past guest that we have had has been as active in the non-guest role, except maybe Rob, as you have, man. So I want to personally thank both of y'all for you all support, man. You guys,
it's all love, man. It's all love.
Yeah, absolutely.
I believe, hey, Glenn, I believe people check in more interested in what the hell Kenry gonna put in the damn chat.
Stop it, man.
What we gonna say?
I'm beginning to think that too.
Not at all. Not at all.
It's a little hate. It's a little hate.
Being a lover of life. I don't know what you and Mel are just here for decorations today.
Right. It's a little hate. They have what Cat Williams say, I have tired of your presence. They have tired of our presence.
Yes.
They want to hear Rob and Kenry, drop their things. But
not at all.
Hey man, but I'm glad, man, to be celebrating the 20th, man. That's some real cool stuff, man. And it went fast, and I'm not at all weary. It's like, man, this could be the second one. I enjoy myself with you all, man. Y'all are good dudes, man. I enjoy when we agree, when we disagree, when I learn something, when I'm able to share something that's teachable. I dig it all, man. I dig it all.
Right? You know what? I want to say.
Hey, I dig the mean male. I dig the kind male. The sober male, the buzz male, cooking male, the eating
There's
male.
no such thing as a mean male, man. I'm always the total gent. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Oh, really? Okay, whatever.
You get hangry. The producer saying
Right,
you get hangry,
Get
man.
hangry, right? Mad because you want to eat, right? You know.
Well, Brother Mason, we're 6 minutes in, so can we go through our traditional rigmarole of introductions and diving in, please, sir?
Absolutely. And Kennery, since Rob may have you faded in appearances, I'm sure he does, because he didn't even been the emergency go-to a time or two. So last minute popping in. So Kennery, why don't you introduce yourself, man, to the people that are watching who may not have caught you before. Tell us a little bit about yourself, how you came to the show, and then Rob, you follow him up, please.
Yes,
Okay. Well, my name is Kennery Smith. I am a professional musician, writer, producer. I came to the show through this cat right here. Shawn is a guy that I've known for a while. He's always been a straight up level brother, and I appreciate him. I invited me on the show. It's always good to know that there are good brothers out there doing good things, and this show is a perfect representation of that. I'm glad to be here. I feel honored. Thank you.
Well, man, you are one of those brothers, man, and I think you know how we feel about you, man. So we thank you for thinking enough of us to give us a Saturday night, man. You didn't have to do that, so we appreciate it.
Absolutely.
The Hazard Group, Robert Hazard.
that's right. Hey, I'm Robert Hazard. Thanks so much for having me. I'm actually a sales executive by trade. I'm not going to say the lovers thing. You know that doesn't.
Go ahead. That's your trademark.
Man, some people may not know, man. Some people may not know that you are.
You know, Rod's gonna put your phone number up there anyway before we're through with the show.
The production team says your DMs are officially open, so you know.
That's right. Bring them on. Bring them on. You know, I love life. I love women. I love everything. Thanks for having me.
All that, brother. Cheers.
Mel.
Sir?
Tell us whatever you feel like telling us, because I don't want to get cut tonight since you already, tell us whatever.
I don't know what you're talking about. My name is Mel Roberson, and I am the nice one of the show.
My God.
And his nose is growing. Look closely.
I am the saint of the
the light that is coming.
The saint of the three constant gentlemen that are on here. You see my Instagram handle is the total gent, because I'm always doing things decent and in order.
He can't even keep a straight face.
Wow.
Hey. 5-time Amazon best-selling author, soon to be 6th and 7th time, with 2 new releases that will be coming out later on this year and at the top of next year. I'm an actor. I've been on Chicago PD, The Chi, Empire, TV shows, and movies on Amazon and Netflix. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I own several different businesses that are doing extremely well in the midst of a pandemic, so I'm blessed in that regard. My favorite job that I've ever had, and I say job, I use that term loosely, has been raising my 2 daughters, who are the most amazing human beings on the planet. Also too, for entrepreneurs out there, if you DM me on Facebook, I will send you a link for a free masterclass that we have going on Monday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's called From Zero to 100K, How to Grow Your Business to $100,000 Business. So we're doing a free masterclass, me and some of my business partners. So make sure you DM me if you want the Eventbrite link to that event. And that's all I have to say about that.
Well, thank you, brother, for being here, and thank you for all that you do and contribute. Glenn Murray, or as they say with the accent, all you do and contribute. Glenn Murray, talk to us, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself that we don't, we know, but maybe somebody who.
All right. Well, I hope everybody knows it's Champagne Saturday, so I've been hashtagging that all day. I hope you have your.
This dude is determined to make this a thing, ain't he?
Champagne, man. It's champagne. It's not Prosecco. It's not sparkling fruit wine. It's not California champagne. It's champagne.
Somebody said it was Kool-Aid and you poured LaCroix in it.
Wow.
Grenadine.
Shout out to Stuyvesant Wine and Marvina Crawford. who's doing our thing in Brooklyn. Glenn Murray. I am owner of 220 Holdings, co-producer of this show. But I'm upset, Shawn. I got a rant. You know, I always got a rant.
Uh-oh.
This week, People Magazine did the Sexiest Man Alive thing, and nobody from the Man Cave made it. And you know what? I blame our producers, Hodge and Keisha. Y'all are not doing your jobs well. So if y'all don't get this straight, and they do a retract this list and put one of us on it by next week, we're gonna have new producers next Saturday, y'all. Y'all hear me? Okay, serious. Look me in my eyes. You know I'm serious. Don't play with me about this. One of us should be on that list, gentlemen.
Yeah, well, it ain't me, so I'm gonna leave that to y'all. I am under 5'7", stocky, and love handles. I am not. Yeah.
Hey, well, I'm 6'1", 205, and I can make my pecs jump, baby.
And I can make mine jump too, but I don't believe mine.
I cannot.
No.
Hey man, we need to have a pec jumping contest.
Right?
Oh God!
I don't know where y'all going, man.
First
I don't know to
topic.
drink to that or not. I don't know.
I'm gonna have to just take a drink for that.
Yeah.
Before we move on, I am Shawn. Don't make me come out my shirt and show you for real now. I ain't saying you won't be sick. I'm just saying you'll know I'm not lying. I am Shawn Mason. I am honored to be the host of this
I gotta pull it together.
group of misfits most time. Oh, Jamie, I love you. Group of misfits most time. I am a professional photographer. I do a little bit in blogging, do a little bit in music and singing. Got some things coming up that I'm working on and doing. Man, I'm learning my way. I don't know why in my old age I've decided to get handy, but I'm learning how to, mount stuff at the crib that I would just pay somebody. Like they say, can you cook? No, but I can order out with the best of, Now I'm around here mounting TVs and doing research and, using stud finders to find studs so I can mount. I don't know, man. You get older, I guess your whole vibe changes, man.
That's what's up, Shawn. You got to know how to do it yourself, brother.
Yeah, Evan Marcus repair service.
Right.
Business he started. He just advertising.
Right. So I've been enjoying my little self, man. Trying to be more than a lover.
All righty.
Topics, please. Topics.
Topics, please.
We're 13 minutes in. So
Finding studs.
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, I was gonna say I can't. I've been banned from Lowe's because every time I go in there, the stud finders start going off.
Okay.
I'm gonna need this tonight, right?
I'm gonna need something
Looks like my
switching.
DMs so empty they echo. And it is unfortunately the truth.
DM dry mail for Shawn. That's what he said on the show.
Right. I think every week I've started with a goal to make Mel's stomach upset with the stuff that I say. If I can say enough crazy stuff that he goes, then I know I've done my job. So look, what we want to get into, man. I want to say this, man, and I hate to go right into some hypersensitive stuff right away, but I posted something, man, on my Facebook page today. It's not relationships based. It's not relationships.
Yeah, calm down, Mel. That's not until 30 minutes in.
Yeah, but it's coming. That's coming. Man, I just don't know. There's a part of me, man, that feels, hey, everybody should have the freedom to express themselves without judgment and yada, yada, yada. But, man, when these public figures come out advocating for 45 and advocating for him in such a primitive way, it's almost like they're saying, and they might deny that that's what they're saying, but like my friend Serena Daniels says, I know what you said, but what I heard was. So they don't actually say it, but it's like they're standing on their racist beliefs, standing on their primitive beliefs. And, Rick Schroeder, the actor from Silver Spoons, helped get this boy that shot the two people in Milwaukee out of jail. and took a picture with him. And I'm like, dude, really? That's what you want to put out into the universe, that you helped bail out a 17-year-old murderer who didn't have no business going down there, and went down there and said he felt fear for his life when he could have stayed his ass at home and not been fearful at all. And then I went and checked out his Instagram and found out that he's absolutely one of those dudes. And I'm like, I would have much rather not known that, about you. And then I wonder, and Mel, maybe you can speak more to this, but do these guys, man, do they feel like they're putting something at risk? When they put those kind of beliefs out there, is that something that they care about, knowing that they have an existing fan base and people are going to support them or not support them? Because I'm gonna tell you, on the comments under his last post, which was something about I'm gonna have as many people over my house for Thanksgiving as I want to, and woo, people were dog walking him, on his thread. So I just wonder, man, is that a part of the marketing piece that somebody, an actor or somebody like that, would be sensitive to? Because there are definitely some people that I was fans of before all this went down that I can't rock with based on what I know their beliefs are.
But name the last thing you saw Rick Schroeder in.
Right.
Silver spoons.
That,
you know what? And, that's what I was going to say. That's irrelevance speaking.
Yeah.
You called him irrelevant. You said
that's irrelevant.
Yeah.
Well, and I think media whore.
Right.
They want to get attention.
Well, Mel hasn't even responded yet, but I also want to say this. I also feel that way about some of these corporate companies. These guys that own, like, guess what? I don't F with Home Depot anymore. Now the CEO of Lowe's may feel the same way, but he hasn't come out so publicly that I know what his position is. But after the owner of Home Depot came out so publicly as an advocate for Trump, I'm no longer comfortable going into that store. Now, it's one of those things where they say, what you don't know.
Right.
But, as long as I don't know that about you, we good. I can rock with you. Somebody said, Rod said the CEO of Lowe's is a brother. So,
yeah, he is.
Here's the thing, though, right? In all of this, everybody has a right to believe what they want and speak what they want, right? So the president of Home Depot had a right to say that, just like other people have a right to no longer support that establishment.
Right, that's right. Mm-hmm.
Ricky Schroeder has a right to say and do and post on his Instagram whatever he wants. And for us to say we're disappointed in it could be our own truth. But then there are other people that agree with him and that are like, yeah, that's the stuff,
And they're both right.
You come out with your political views and people could be like, well, I don't think what you think, so I no longer want to associate with you on that. I look at it as the Dennis Rodman complex, right? Some people loved Rodman and his craziness and his antics and all of this other stuff. And Rodman didn't care what you thought. He was going to be who he wanted to be, say what he wanted to say, support who he wanted to support. And either you rocked with him or you didn't.
Or you don't.
Yeah. That's a little bit different than politics and, the racism standpoint, but it's on a different level, but it's the same type of deal. Be you and you'll find your tribe.
The only difference that I think is that, I've been on this earth and a voter for quite a long time. And there's never been a time when somebody's choice made me feel different about them as a person. This is the first time that the differences that are on the table between what the two sides seem to be representing is so drastically different that if you're standing on that side, I find it hard to not think that you are in some shape or form my adversary. Whereas even though I did not like any of the Bushes, none of that stuff, I didn't have a personal issue with anybody that advocated for them the way I do now when somebody comes out and sides with this administration. But I think this is also the first time we've had an administration so boldly racist, so boldly misogynist, so boldly disrespectful. So I don't think that, it's being hypersensitive to feel that way, because this time they have stood on a platform that we've never seen so blatantly stood on.
So and I think that that's probably what's happening too. The fact that this is something that we've never seen with this type of president. And so now, whether it be COVID or however you want to call it, people are really showing their true colors.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And,
So
just think
I saw something interesting on TikTok. It was a young black man. He was probably around 19 or 20 years old. He was adopted by a white family when he was small, when he was like 3 or 4. So he's grown up, from, let's just say, 4 to 18, right? So 14 years he's been with this white family. And he was saying on TikTok, he's like, hey, I just want to let you all know, I've had loving parents and a brother and a sister that have raised me, that took me in when nobody else wanted me. And he was like, hey, I just want to let you all know, everybody who's a Trump supporter is not necessarily racist. And this kind of changed my perspective a little bit, because here it is, this family who raised him, put him through school. I think he's in college now, paying his tuition and all of this stuff.
Are they white? Are they white?
They're white. They're white.
They're white.
They're
He's
white.
black.
And he's black. Okay.
And he's black. And so, but here's the funny part. So he's going through on this TikTok. He was like, hey, everybody, here's my mom. She's not racist. She's raised me since I was a little kid, and she voted for Trump. And she waved at the camera. And he was like, here's my dad. He voted for Trump. And he's like, here's my brother. He voted for. Here's my sister. She's not old enough yet. And he was like, so I'm just here to tell you guys that just because they're white or they voted for Trump doesn't necessarily mean that they're racist. And then he walks outside. He said, but they stupid as hell, though. And I was cracking up at this.
Wow.
But that really made me look at a perspective from a standpoint of when people don't have to experience it or it doesn't affect them directly, they don't have a level of understanding as to where some stuff can get by. And I get it. To us, we see it. It's blatant. He's all of these things, but we're also black, right? So that made me look at it like, damn, here's a family who took this kid in, raised him, loved him, and all of this other stuff. And they still, because probably of their economic status, were Trump supporters, or they were just Republicans and they couldn't go against what they were so used to.
Right.
And I would go
about that.
I would go as far as to say this, Mel, and this probably isn't going to be popular or received very, very well. But I don't think that any of the variables that you shared remove them from the possibility of being racist.
Right.
They could still be very much racist just because they adopted that boy.
Oh, yeah.
That may have
or
been,
they could not be too, though.
Yeah, but they could be. And that could be some way. But that's not what I'm talking about.
Shawn, that makes me think about the woman who adopted the children and drove the children off the cliff.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I will tell you that white guilt will oftentimes make you do something that you feel separates you from those that you don't want to be lumped in with. And so you might do something like that. And now here's this special magical Negro that you own, but the rest of them you still see the same way. I know somebody who's in a interracial marriage, has mixed sons, and stood on the opposite side of the whole Black Lives Matter movement. When it was all about young black boys being able to walk out their door and not get shot for wearing a hoodie. And she was like, but blue lives matter, which is a whole nother argument for me. I won't even,
Please,
so
please.
I think that a lot of times, and I have another friend who lives out of state who has a black son, and a lot of times, some of them they can be in their mind close enough to our experience that it eclipses the racist views they have, and so they spout them and spit them. It's almost like that corny stuff where I got black friends, I got a black husband, I got a black kid, and they think that frees them up to say some of the things that they think about our walk that only reveals that you're actually racist. You just haven't accepted it.
Well, anytime you can basically turn it off. I mean, when even if you have a black child or whatever that may, black friends, all the stuff, even anytime your association with blackness can be turned off, when you walk out the door, you are a person. You're not a black person. You're just a person. Then you can't know the full extent of what this is all about. Yeah. So I never expect them to really, really, really get it.
Yeah, they can't.
I expect you to not be a enabler. So people who have voted for Trump, who say they're not racist, to me, they're still enablers. You're still driving the getaway car.
Exactly.
You didn't go in the bank.
You an accomplice like a mom.
Right.
You are an accomplice.
But here's where I agree with Mel. Here, it's perspective. And if you've been a lifelong Republican, let's just think about it this way. So there's some core beliefs that you have, right to life, things like that, limited government, basic Republican tenets that you follow. And Trump comes along and says, okay, I believe in right to life, and I'm going to get judges appointed that believe in right to life. And if that's your one issue, and there's a lot of people, so I don't believe, I don't believe everybody that voted for him is racist. No, I do think everybody that's racist definitely voted for him and not Biden.
Right.
Just be real about that too. So I'm not that naive, and like I said, I have friends. One of my best friends is Republican, and he's very much a right to life person, and that's the reason he voted for him. So I'm going to respect his right to be able to cast that vote based off of that belief, because I would never argue with that belief, right to life. So I get that and I understand it. But that means, and I think you posted it, that means you're willing to suspend everything else that he's done, the 2,000 documented lies, caging of children, the
tax fraud,
the almost progressive bigotry, because it started with immigrants, and then it started with shutting the borders down. Then it started with tacit support for racist groups, and it's culminated into, well, the voting was a fraud because everybody in these majority black cities couldn't have voted for Biden. This had to be a fraud. So it's been a progressive bigotry, kind of a progressive dog whistle from day one for the last 4 or 5 years that we've seen. So that means they want to suspend that, all of that belief to vote for right to life. But there's some people that did it. 70% of Republicans now believe that the election was a fraud. 70%. That was a recent poll that came out. So while I get that there are people that have different perspectives, and it's also a lived experience as well. And I don't remember who said it, but it's a lived experience. Unless you've lived in our shoes, unless you've walked in our shoes, you really don't understand. Like, I've had conversations with my friends who aren't black about what it means to be singled out, in any way, shape, or form. And they don't get it. They couldn't even believe it happened. Like, they don't fathom it. Like, they don't go outside and worry about it. So there are people that just haven't lived it and don't get it. And we have to respect that, because that's not their fault. It's not their fault that they weren't born black. So we have to be able to respect that as well. So there's a lot of understanding that has to come from both sides.
Well, Glenn, that begs. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, are we going to get there with the person in leadership that we have right now? No, because they're not trying to foster any kind of unity. They're fostering division.
I would still love to have those conversations, man. And if I didn't think that they would be so inflammatory, I know that in the 4,000 Facebook friends I have, and I probably know who they are. I know who the Trump supporters are. And I have at times, man, wanted to reach out to them and say, let's dialogue publicly or privately. I really just want to know how whatever it is that he advocates for allows you to turn your back to all the other things that he says and espouses, that thing. And I can accept that answer if that is so vital to you, that you're willing to.
Some people are one issue voters. Some people are one issue voters. That is their issue. Right to life is their issue, and they don't believe the Democrats support that. So they knew Trump was going to be led to put in judges that support right to life.
They need to rename that right to life until you're born.
Right, I know. Because you're denying life to all the 200,000 people that have died of COVID. While you're worrying about advocating for life, you're like allowing people to die.
They need to rename the United States too to just the damn states. But look, this was the most important thing that came out of what you said for me, Glenn. Was that tacit? TACID? Was that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was it. What the hell? I said, he's trying to flex his little intelligence tonight. Mel, I'm gonna need you to kick in some words or something, because Glenn is out here, gonna flex
Where's my dictionary at?
It's episode number 20. So, I thought I'd throw a word or two out there. Other than I can neither confirm nor deny, people are used to that one.
Hey, man, Kennery shared something, man. He shared a lot of things. One of the things he shared that jumped out at me. And like I said, oftentimes Kennery and I so often cut from the same cloth that it is comical to me sometimes. So that when the time comes up that we're on different sides, I just go, okay, well, we're gonna find our way back to the same place at some point. But he said something, man. One of the things he said was, "What do black men really want?" And in that, what he said was the fact that we are never asked, which I think is incredibly true and incredibly powerful. And I probably have said it before. I don't think, especially in this time of social media, and I appeal to the ladies that are watching right now who are emotionally driven and social media savvy, and I want you to really think about what you put out there for the brothers and men that you want to be so much better, or that you want to reach for better, or that you want to equip themselves in a way that you think they're worthy of you. I think it is difficult for most people to filter a constant message and a constant programming. And so I have gotten so used to hearing how piece of shit we are all day, every day on social media, that it reminded me of the way they described Waiting to Exhale when it was released. They said, these women were chasing something that they spent the whole movie dogging out. Like you seem to be the biggest opponent of black men, but that's what you're pursuing. And so sometimes, man, that's why it hit me so hard. Not only are we ever asked, but I think sometimes it filters what we think we want ourselves. What I want to do is not have to carry the burden of who you think I am. I don't want to have to walk into the door and fight through the layers of who you think I am based on your experiences, because you don't want me to do that. You don't want me to decide you are, the ladies I dated before you. Right. So I just think, man, and here's the other thing, based on the way society positions things, for us to stand up and try to defend ourselves almost makes us look problematic. Like we're supposed to just sit back and take the dogging and be okay with it and never say, we're not those dudes. We're not those guys.
Simply because we're men.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a no win. It's a no win. And I find that to be dysfunctional.
It's interesting. Yeah. It's interesting that you say that, because, when we get ready to defend ourselves, actually, one of the Caucasian therapists that I went to early on, when I said that, some of the things that I'm experiencing, in the dating field, I said, I'm trying to defend that, that's not me. I'm having to, worry about how someone else treated that person prior to me, but it's affecting my relationship. And he said, that I'm operating in that defensive mode already when I try to defend, saying that that's not me. Can I get a clean slate? Which, I totally disagree with, because I'm not getting defensive. I really no. But I mean, it's so to your point, Shawn, I think that can we get a clean slate? Can we? But I think it's a mindset too, based off of what women have experienced with other people. It's hard for them to shake that off. And even for us, it's hard for us to shake it off and give that other person a clean slate and say, no, that's not really.
Well, here's my fear, man. My fear is that we are so accustomed to being maligned that oftentimes when we should be raising our finger and crying foul, we don't, because for one thing, it's par for the course. For two, we're concerned about the perception of being, weak because we're standing up and defending ourselves. It's at the point now where stuff that, they think is funny, I don't think it's funny.
Did you say maligned?
I did. You like that?
Good word. Go on there, Sean. Wait a minute. Let me read that one.
I want to leave Glenn out there by herself. You know.
A lot. You know, Mel's gonna come through with an even larger.
He's just sitting back. He's just sitting back, getting ready to drop one on us, and we have.
He's thinking it through.
Soon.
He's just sitting over there chilling. Yeah, right.
He's like a leopard, just waiting. I'm gonna kill their ass in 30. But you know, just like for example, and you try to not be that dude, you know, but just like the little meme that's going around now, you know, sugar daddy applications, bring a check stub and your gray sweatpants. That's just not funny to me. You know, because you know, only because there's no time that we aren't defined by some finance piece.
And I don't own no damn gray sweatpants either. Don't ask me for no damn gray sweatpants.
Well, you know, I'm okay in my gray sweats. You know, I'm okay.
I ain't got no gray sweats. I don't wear gray sweats around the house.
Kenry,
we have gray sweats.
My gray sweats, I might make a friend or two. I don't know. I'm just saying. But there's and I think it wouldn't be so bad as if, you know, we aren't seen as Neanderthals when we prioritize with certain things that we like. You know, then we're never justified in saying, okay, well, if she don't have, you know, T and A, or if she can't do the tricks I need, you know what I'm saying? Also,
out of here.
Yeah, we're primitive and Neanderthals, but you know, they can go on and on about what they and then the whole society, you know, justifies them. I got some, Jamie. I got some.
All right, can we move on with this one, because we just like
5'7" might not work for you, Jamie. But I got
wow.
Here's what I feel like is the problem, and you know, we kind of have to be adult about this. Everybody has to carry their own baggage. I heard a sermon. Yes, I'm quoting a sermon because when I go to church, I do listen. Frederick Haynes preached a sermon one time about somebody wanting to be saved, and literally they were on a sinking ship and they let the ladder down to get them, but they were trying to hold on to all the baggage, so much so they couldn't even reach up to grab the ladder. And they're like, we're trying to save you, but you got so much baggage in your hand, you aren't even allowing yourself to be saved. Yep. So as men, we need to have the conversation with women to say, okay, whatever happened to you before, that wasn't me. And you need to have a serious conversation about that, because I'm not the one that caused the heartache and pain.
Yeah.
So, hey, Mel finna break out singing Previous Cats on y'all.
I know it's about to be. But I mean, everybody who's at some stage in your life, you have to let go of whatever it was that hurt you.
You have to try to hit your reset button, man. And I admit it's not easy. I mean, especially if you were hurt badly. But I think you can also tell when you meet somebody, man or woman, you can tell when they are trying to find something new versus when they are running from where they were and what they had. Mm-hmm. And so when I can tell in your verbiage that you're more trying to get away from what you had than you are trying to find what's for you, then I don't listen to you. And that's evident. You can read an online profile, dude, and it will tell you that somebody is still living in the past.
Absolutely.
As men, we need to recognize that you can be Halle Berry fine, but if you're troubled and broken,
man,
it's apparent in your words.
I mean, I'll drink to that too. I'm gonna drink to that too.
Rob, you'll drink to a funeral.
So your signs are there. You choose to.
I will too, though, Rob, depending on whose funeral it is.
Wow.
I'm just
a funeral?
Okay, Mel, close this out, please, sir.
Next topic.
We got 20 more minutes.
Next topic.
20 more minutes.
Let's go.
You're gonna be going back. You're gonna be going back to therapy.
Hey, look, speaking of funerals that I would drink to, I heard Donald Trump Jr. got the thoughts and opinions expressed on the show are not those of NDTV, 220 Communications, Mel Roberson, the Total Gent, the Hazard Group, or any other business or corporation that is depicted on this show.
Shawn, you know he gonna get the secret sauce, so it doesn't really matter.
Right, absolutely, yeah. he gonna get the secret stuff that they got. You know, he not gonna get the syphilis portion.
Right.
You know.
Oh my God.
So next topic.
What's the topic here?
What's next?
What?
What are we talking about next? Yeah.
Mel, what would you like to talk about? Is there anything on your mind since you know?
Not in particular, man. This has been a
How was your cleanse going, man?
It's very cleansing. I really don't think you want the details on this show about my parasite cleanse.
And we're going to commercial now. We're going to.
Hey man, you know I've seen it all, man. I don't have a weak stomach, so you know somebody said, hey man, so how y'all doing, man, with COVID fatigue and that kind of thing, man? Are you guys all right? I just found out, man, and shout out to my man. I won't say his name because I'm annoyed when people, without people's permission, put out their COVID status. Everybody doesn't necessarily, want that made public, but I found out that a good friend of mine, and I had realized that I hadn't, heard from him in a minute. And I had planned on reaching out to him later that day, and then he texted me and said, "Hey man, I've been down since the 7th of November, lost 23 pounds,
Wow.
and said that he really thought he would not make it, which broke my heart, dude. He felt that sick that he really. And if you saw my post that said, for those who have had to, have people make light of it, while they've actually lost people." That was part of, what that was about, man. It's like, you still got people running around here trying to say it ain't this and it ain't that. Meanwhile, people have experienced legitimate loss from it. And I find that to be so disrespectful, man, and so insensitive. We're so inherently selfish, man. It's just amazing to me,
It's America. Anybody that's been outside of America knows that this is totally American.
Yeah.
And so, you got people that are literally in the hospital on the stretcher, still denying.
Denying it.
So it's one of those things. My friends call me that I'm overboard with my sticklerism about wearing your mask, and all that stuff. But here's my thing: I'm a caretaker. I'm a caregiver for my 90-year-old mother. So I'm not gonna play with you. I will knock you out. If you play around with that type of thing. I almost had an altercation with a guy in Aldi's one day that claimed that he had it before, and he got in line behind me and wouldn't give me my space. And I told him, you got a couple minutes to fix this. And that's the end of the story. Because this, whether you believe it or not is irrelevant to me.
Right.
What I need you to do is respect my belief. It's not going to cost you anything, and we both can go home happy.
We've lost the ability to take care of each other. You don't have to know anybody or have any tie to anybody to take care of each other. So when I do it in my mind, I'm trying to take care of the people around me as well. But I know that COVID fatigue is a real thing, and it looks like we are heading for some more restrictions. So I just kind of wanted to know how you guys were doing with it, what you were thinking. I went to Costco today. I got my bourbon for the night. I didn't stock up or anything, but I'm a little concerned about whether or not I need to, prepare to hunker down a little bit, You
do.
Yeah.
I think you should. What is it? 1 in 15 Chicagoans now in Cook County have COVID.
And I think that I think Lynn and I were talking about this earlier in terms of what the mayor's doing with locking down everything in Chicago, with the restaurants and what have you. And I think we need to do a better job of wearing our masks, but also checking on each other. I think, Shawn, you were kind of going there with that in terms of checking in and see what our mental health is like.
COVID fatigue is real, man. I'm getting ready to freshen up. I can hear you.
Yeah. So I think while you're gone, I'm gonna just freshen up myself. But I think that's.
So you
I think
saying
that's
you were
important.
smart? You brought your bottle with you.
Brought his bottle with him.
Man, I got I still got this one, but I still got some more to do too. Since you're not drinking, Mel, I'm just gonna drink yours.
Thank
You
you.
guys are
Right.
professional
Yeah,
at this.
So good to me.
and this is your bottle that I'm opening right now.
Yes. So I'm gonna just, I got that over there, but I am ready. But I think we need to check in. Women do a great job of checking in on each other.
They do.
As men,
Yeah.
we need to do a better job of just checking to see how we're doing mentally, physically, etc. And just check, show some love.
Yeah, I think that kind of depends on your circle too, because like I have a circle.
My glass for Mel.
Awesome, thank you, sir. I have a circle that we're constantly checking on each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's I haven't experienced COVID fatigue the way that other people have. Excuse me, other people have, because I'm intentional about having Zoom lunches with people, FaceTiming people, calling and checking on people, and I got a tribe of people that do the same thing for me. So it's not as bad. I do miss the physical interaction of other human beings.
Yep.
I do miss, even though I'm cautious and I quarantine and I think I'm safe, like it's hard for me to hug my parents when I do go over there.
Yeah.
Because it's like, man, I was outside and there's something on my clothes that my mom might inhale or something. You know what I mean? Just all of these things that you just don't know about. So I do miss that aspect of it. I come from a very large family, and we are, we're very affectionate, and so it's difficult to not have that. But outside of that, man, for me, as somebody who was always on the go, man, I'm enjoying this coronacation. I've had an opportunity to not do a thing sometimes, and I have had very little opportunity in the past 10 years to do nothing. So it's been well needed, but now I'm kind of feeling like, all right, I need to rev it back up, and I just got to figure out what that looks like in this space, because it's different.
But
any anxiety as a result of that, Mel? Any anxiety with not being able to hug the family and things like that, or are you good there too?
Well, I think my anxiety was heightened because of that, because I have lost so many people this year. Up to 17 people that I know between friends and family from February to this year. So to not have proper funerals, like my favorite uncle, who was a two-tour Vietnam veteran, Purple Heart recipient, you know what I mean? Like to have his funeral and it's very few of us there, and people are texting me because they're watching via Zoom, you know what I mean? And the military cemetery saying you could only have so many people here, and not having his 21 gun salute and all of that stuff. Like that stuff weighed on me more. It's difficult not seeing my family, but we're intentional. Like I say, we do Zooms, we have text messages, we FaceTime all the time. So it's different, but it's not, I'm not going crazy.
Okay.
I guess.
Fair enough.
New normals, man. New normals are often hard to accept. And because I really do all I can to protect my bubble with my brother's family, because they allow me to be the outlier. So I really let what I'm going to do dictate the fact that I don't want to disrespect my access to them. But so when I go in and I can't hug my niece the way I usually do, or my nephew's coming at me with a fist bump, and we've always had a tradition of big hugs. Those are the times when it's much more apparent to me. But you guys were saying something when I was going to pursue my alcoholism. And that was it was something about Mel. I finally got Mel. It was something about us as men and our ability to communicate that thing. And that's something, man, that I wish we could collectively try to correct, because I think that it has done us so much damage. Our inability to be emotional, our inability to shake off any thoughts of anything other than heterosexual love, you know, and love on our brothers, you know. And one reason I thought about it is because my man Randy Roberts just checked in. I appreciate you, brother. But he was a friend of as well as my brother that I lost 2 years ago. And that dude was so intentional about the men in his crew being comfortable with the whole love thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
He and we used to just say, I love you. We would hug. Sometimes he would even kiss me on the side of the face, like, love, boy, you know, and it became a thing. And so now, like Randy Roberts, all of the guys that ran with that dude, we hashtag a whole lot of stuff, love, boy, because that was his way of saying, I love you, you know, without saying the whole phrase. But it was a constant reminder that there was this man in your life who in a very heterosexual way, just in a platonic friendship way, was bold enough to tell you that he loved you.
Yeah.
And so I think that is something, man. And I think it's so layered. You know, you get these ladies that talk about these men who aren't available and they can't communicate and they aren't emotionally accessible and all that. But a lot of us have been groomed that way.
Yeah, of course.
So it's nothing that we do intentional. It's the way we've been programmed. I think back to when I was a little boy, man, and I can tell you that I know this was not done with any malice. But when I was a little kid, man, when my brother and I said goodnight to my parents, we kissed my mother and we shook my father's hand.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I had to be about 30 years old, man, before I realized how dysfunctional that really was. It felt like love in the moment, but in actuality, I should have been able to be comfortable expressing a physical affection for my father. But that wasn't that era, and that wasn't what we were being taught. I say that because then women end up with men who aren't able to express themselves that way, and they feel like they're being cheated, when in actuality, it's not about him, it's about his programming.
You know what, Shawn? I never was able to say I love you to my dad.
Really?
Because he was that guy.
Okay.
But my intentional... my makeup says that I'm going to tell you how I feel. So and my intentional purpose was to not be like him. Not that he was a bad guy.
Right.
I knew he loved me.
Right.
But he never said.
But he had the same programming that you grew up with, and worse.
Even more so, right? But the thing is, being able to express that to another male, first of all, you really got to know yourself. So you got to be secure. It's I don't care about what you may think about me. I tell brothers who have a problem with other brothers expressing love for each other, I said, leave your girlfriend in the room with me. And we can solve all that question. If you got any questions, then
that's hard, Kennery. That's kind of hard.
Yeah, that's
I'm just saying.
That's old.
Like me too. I might not want to leave her in the room with you. I'm just saying, it's something.
Hey, Kennery, point taken.
So one of the things, though, and I think actually this show helps too, that we're able to show people that we can have dialogue, we can have conversation. And a lot of people have told me, like, okay, you guys are what I watch. This helps me get through the weekends when I'm not going out and when I'm not doing anything. And Mel has just kind of texted me to check on me, which I really appreciate. At first, I thought he was texting me because I owed him money or something. But at first, it turned out that he was actually I know, my invoice. I thought he was talking about his invoice. But he actually was saying, you all right. And
he's done the same with me, man. I was surprised, I was surprised. It made my day,
Yeah, I was like,
but I gotta
answer first because I thought I owed him money. But after I did, and I found out he was just checking on me,
I got a text from Mel too. I'm not like you all, but Mel gave me a text too. In fact, I got his book as a result.
I ain't got no text from Mel, so that's all right.
We didn't even have your number the last show, bro. Ain't nobody even have your number. I'm supposed to text you, dog.
Hey, Mel, they was texting me like, where your boy at? Where your boy at?
Right. They were like, we don't know.
Hey, Mel, I was like, hell, I don't have his number.
Man, I found something, though, Mel, when you text me. I was like, wow.
But it actually, it made me feel good that somebody was checking on me. And to people watching, like, if you just need that connection, reach out to people. Like, don't wait for people to reach out to you. Sometimes you need to reach out to people and see what's going on.
Yeah.
And we understand it. So many people have checked on me because I don't know why people thought I was going crazy. I guess I must have been really social before COVID hit. I don't know what it is because people are like, oh, I know you're going crazy. not okay. I'm like, I'm fine. This has actually been enjoyable for me. I got to sit down. I got to binge watch stuff. I created a whole nother business. I wrote a book.
Yeah.
Like I've done a lot of stuff that I wanted to do, and I've accomplished a lot. So this time for me has been one of rest and actualization on some things I needed to do. So
I have to talk to you book writing brothers about that.
Hey,
I'll tell you.
One of the major things we got to look at though in this society, in this information society and awareness society that we've come into, especially when we're dealing with our parents and who they were and who we've had the freedom to be that they didn't have the freedom to be. Society has become so much more accepting of so many more things now that it's a little bit different. My father, I'm 44 years old. My dad didn't tell me he loved me until I was 39 years old. And it was a problem for me only because I didn't hear it, but at no time in my life did I ever not feel like my father didn't love me. You know what I mean? Like it was never a question if my dad loved me. So when me and the young lady who we broke up in 2018 or whatever, and who I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with, and I'm going through it, and I'm at my mom's house, and I'm crying in her lap, and all this other stuff, and we're just talking about life and stuff and love, and I was like, I had this whole thing where, I made it a big deal because dad never told me that he loved me. And my mom, who's in her 70s now, who went on her senior prom with my dad, just to tell you how long they've been together.
Wow.
My mom says, I don't think he's ever told me.
Wow.
Wow. And I'm like, what? Like, here I am making it a big deal that he didn't tell me. And she's like, I don't think he's ever. Now, he says it now. He says it to all of us now. But, he's in his upper 70s and he realizes his time is short. And, he's coming to grips with some things. But again, she was like, at no point in my life did I ever doubt my father's love for your father's love of me. He's been a provider. He's been a protector. He's been all of these things. But he's a Southern boy from Mississippi where they just didn't do that. So really? I never made a big deal out of it because I knew that love was an action verb. Or it was an action word. Yeah. It's not until we read the love languages where we, words of affirmation and not that that's not valid, not that that's not your thing, but if somebody doesn't give it to you or doesn't have the capacity to give it to you the way that you want it, and it's a father-son relationship or something like that where it's not your mate, you got to be okay with that as long as you know what the reality of it is.
Exactly.
Yeah. I like the way you separated that, Mel, because we've talked about the fact that, relationships that we configure ourselves, we kind of have a right to put the way we want to receive that love in a box. And say, hey, if you can't love me this way, this is the way I want to be loved. This is the way I love. This is the way I receive and understand love. You don't really have that luxury with your parents. You can't just say, well, you ain't my daddy, right? No, my mama no more. And so we're forced then to be more flexible with how we receive it. And much like you, even though my dad never said it, his actions spoke it. Yep. And so I knew that my dad loved me, you know what I'm saying? Even though I don't think that I ever heard it before he passed away, but I never, ever questioned it. I knew he loved me the way he would look when I get out the car and walk up on the porch, him looking at me the way a dad looks at his son that he loves, you know what I'm saying? So it's funny, man, because I think as we pursue being the best version of educated people that we are, sometimes it doesn't do us a great service because what it allows us to do is be much more critical about what we receive. We have the ability to run CAT scans on it, that the simpler mind does not. And so we want to make it this complicated thing. Whereas at the end of the day, he didn't tell me, but he showed me. Boom, bam, that's it. You know what I'm saying?
And I think that this is important too, because I'm a little older than you guys. Thank you so much for allowing me to hang out with you.
I doubt that you're older than me, Rob.
I don't know about that, bro.
Yeah. Rob, you just think you're older than me. I never. Every time Mel says I'm 44, I go, oh, really?
Right.
That's what I was thinking when he said that. I was like, but here's the thing that I wanted to just, simply jump in and say, my dad came from an era, strong, military vet, and all of that. And so it was a different era in terms of showing affection. But I knew that my dad loved me, and, and he tried to show it in different ways. So what do we do as we get older? We try to show that to our partners, to our family, et cetera, because we want to be better than what our parents did. So I think it's important for us as men to really just try to show up. We all have, Mel has daughters, I have a daughter. It's important to show up and then show our children what life can be like, in terms of love. And so I think that's the real message that I wanted to share with you.
Yeah. I got a request. I know it's time for us to get out of here shortly. It's our 20th show. I'm not going to give you a genre. Just give me 3 songs to throw on the playlist for the 20th show. Whatever genre you want, whatever era you want.
Oh, nice.
3 songs for the playlist for the 20th show. This is our 20th anniversary. Our 20th show, the 20 episode playlist. So, Kennery, give me 3 songs.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
You the writer, producer. You done threw your whole damn resume out there. So give me 3 songs.
Oh man. Okay.
Kennery,
any 3 songs, and you don't even have to give a reason why they on the list.
Oh man. Okay. So let me think. Pass. I'll come back to me.
Top of
my head, man.
Robert Hasler, give me 3 songs. Any 3 songs, brother?
Anthony Hamilton. Can I go some stepping and
you listen? This is your 3 songs. You can do whatever you want. Anthony Hamilton.
We know you smooth, Robert. Go ahead. You're smooth.
I got Anthony Hamilton, Daydreaming. I'm trying to think of Aretha Franklin's song that she did. Oh my God. I've got Kim. Oh, those are the artists. You want the songs?
Yeah.
Let me.
While he's doing that, I want to give some love to Ishmael, who checked in. My man Ishmael, thanks for checking in. That he said something during the time we were talking about the love thing, and I saw that he had said something. I just wanted to thank you for checking in.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ishmael, for checking in, brother. What's the last 3 damn songs you listened to? Golly. Just 3 songs, man.
I'm ready.
Man.
I'm ready.
Give it to me.
All right. Dexter one.
I'm going to my list right now.
Let's see.
Go to Kennery.
Stars in Your Eyes, Herbie Hancock.
Oh, that's a good song.
That's sang by a Chicago native. If y'all didn't know that. Dexter Wenzel, Sweetest Pain.
Hold on. I'm writing this down.
Hey, you coming with the old classic heat, Kennery?
You know how that is, man.
You said who? Dexter
Wenzel, Wanzel. He's a good guy. He's a Facebook friend.
What's the name of it?
The Sweetest Pain.
Okay.
And you know what? I'm gonna go with Kindred and the Family Soul, Far Away.
Nice song. I like that song a lot. Okay.
All right. Glenn, you never let me down, bro. Give me 3 songs.
All right. Number 1, we're gonna go with a local artist, Nina Ray, Born to Love.
Oh yeah.
With her fine self.
Man, come on now.
Okay.
So we'll go with that. I'm gonna go with my favorite of all time, Prince. If I Was Your Girlfriend.
Nice.
All right, then we're gonna go old school classic. So I want to do. There's so many old school classics I want to do. I've already done LTD Love Ballads. I can't do that one.
It ain't gotta be slow.
I know it ain't gotta be slow. No, it'll be fast. It'll be fast. We go forget it. New Edition, If It Isn't Love.
Hey.
There we go. My 3. I'm done.
Look at that. Let's see how easy that was.
Yeah.
If It Isn't Love. All right, Shawn Mason.
So Mel, the first song I want to do. Listen, no. Check this out.
Let me go pull a drink. I'll be back.
I don't think that you're going to be able to find it. So I want to give it to you in case you can find it.
Okay, all right, that's a fair.
Yeah, I've only heard one DJ play it, and so I got to give you 4 because I don't know if you're going to be able to find it.
All right, so give me the maybe song first. If I can find it.
So it's the house mix of Ndambi, Ndambi, and it's called LIE, Long Island Expressway.
Hey, I've heard that.
Oh, my man Chris Denson, he plays it on his set, but he's the only cat that I know that has the song.
Okay.
All right, so now that's I really want that on the list, but I don't think you're gonna be able to find it.
So that's probably not on Spotify, bro.
Yeah. So,
all right, so give me 3 other ones.
All right, so my 3 are something I just heard today that just blew me away. I played it like 4 times back to back by John Legend. It's called Focused.
John Legend.
Second song is a song that I've actually done by Molly Music, and it's called Beautiful.
Molly Music is talented as heck.
Yeah. Most people don't know that he came through American Idol.
Did he really?
Okay. And the third, man, is I want to go with this Slow Jam by BJ the Chicago Kid, but I think I'm gonna switch it up and go with this upbeat joint. No, but I gave you that house music joint. I'm gonna go with the upbeat joint, man. Feel the Vibe.
By who?
By BJ the Chicago Kid.
BJ the Chicago Kid. Feel the Vibe.
You would like that song. It basically tells the story of how we grew up with cookouts and private conversations, and your uncle shining his pinky ring and close. Don't forget to close the screen door because you letting the bugs in, and it's a real deep song.
Did we lose Robert Hazard?
I guess
looks like it.
You ran him off with the song request.
He got scared. What happened? Or did Roger throw him out of the room? What happened?
So this is going to be short. Okay, my 3 songs.
Uh-oh.
Number 1, I Am Singing by Stevie Wonder.
Nice.
So Stevie. Number 2, Reasonable Doubts by Jay-Z. That's the album. I mean, Can't Knock the Hustle.
Can't Knock the Hustle. I'm making short-term goal when the weather falls. Just put away the weather. Oh yeah, that's
You look like a rapper, Glenn. You look like a rapper. MCGM.
I'm not even gonna ask which one. Just don't even
MC General Manager.
My third song is Sometimes Dancing by Brownstone.
I've heard that.
Wow. Okay.
Hey, can I change my third song, Mel, please, sir? Please.
You know what, Glenn? Since you're an executive producer and part of this was your entire idea, you get 4 songs. You ain't even got to change. You get 4 because Robert Hazard ain't here. So hell yeah, you get 4 songs.
For Robert, I know. Here's
Uh-oh. Rob, pop back in. Do I get 4 songs?
You still get 4 songs though, Glenn. What's your 4th song, Glenn?
All right. So my bonus song is from one of my favorite groups of all time. Jodeci, I'm Still Waiting.
Oh wow.
Which, the original or the remix though?
The original. No, the original. Yeah, the album version. The original.
Okay.
Did you get my songs, Mel?
He did not.
The only thing we got from you was Anthony Hamilton, Daydreaming.
And Mel, on mine, don't forget that's the house mix. So if you can't find the house mix, because there's an acoustic joint out there, it's the house mix that I.
Yeah, that probably ain't on Spotify when we put the list out for everybody.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Anthony Hamilton, Daydreaming. What else?
Will Downing, A Million Ways.
What? Hey, can I tell you a quick story about that song?
No, you cannot. A Million Ways.
It's real quick. It's real quick.
Your next song, Robert.
I didn't have a next one, man. I was just trying to get back in the group, man.
So he only had two. I can pick a third for Robert because I know how Robert flows.
Yeah.
Hey, I promise this story is quick about Will Downer. I promise.
Come on.
So I saw him live, right? And a girl right before he was getting ready to do that song, it was a real intimate setting. Girl said, "Can I ask you a question about the song?" And he said, "Yeah." So she went up and whispered something in his ear. And he looked very, very confused. And he was like, "I don't understand what you're talking about." She asked him, "Who is Phyllis?" And it was halfway through the song that he realized at the beginning of the song, he says, "This one's for the fellas." And all this time, this babe thought he said, "This one's for Phyllis." And she wanted to know who the hell Phyllis was.
That is hilarious.
The whole place was so tickled. It was like 10 minutes before he could get back to the performance. It was
Sean. Sean, you would enjoy hanging out with Will Downer. He's a good guy.
I bet, man.
He's a great guy. I saw him in LA.
Hey, Mel, our producer Keisha Rose wants to pick 3 songs.
Keisha Rose wants 3 songs.
Yeah, so
we would be honored to have her song.
All right, give me 3. Her best part.
Okay.
Oh, I have such a problem with that song.
Love it. Let us see.
And it's not Keisha's fault. It's you know what you did.
You know what you did. So
all right, her best part.
Let us see anything for you.
Oh, I was gonna pick that one. That was gonna be my last one, but okay.
You know, I used to put 4 or 5 lists together for Mel's ass before the show because he don't realize how hard it is to come up off the dome. I would be like, okay, what if he say country? Okay, I got 3.
Right.
Like, what if he say R&B? Okay, I got 3. Then I stopped, and then he,
And the third one, and she says she can neither confirm nor deny anything about this, but Janet Jackson rope burn.
It's
Keisha Rose. All righty.
Can I have K. John
sending a message?
That was Velvet wrote Keisha. We just want to know. I'm just inquiring minds. I'm just asking.
You say what, Robert?
Can I have K. John? It's a Beautiful Thing.
I knew Robert was gonna pick a stepper song. I just knew it.
Man, I'm an old guy. I like, I gotta dance with you. I gotta spin you around. We gotta dip a little bit.
I have all the songs. I will compile the list on Apple Music and Spotify. We will post it in the comments on here. And production team, it is 12 after 10.
So thank you for letting us go over, stay over in class. We appreciate it.
And Robert is representing Black Lives Matter, I guess.
I know,
and our behind the scenes, behind the scenes producer,
Roger didn't want
Raj
me to have a shot or anything.
International Lover by Prince.
Right.
I'm loving the Can't Knock the Hustle though, Mel. Hats off to you on that because that's one of my favorite Jay-Z songs. It's like the first song on the Reason Without album.
Look, I'm loving Kennery's old ambiguous classic choices like an old bass player would do because he got to spell the name of the artist MAN. I'm like,
old ambiguous. I ain't old and ambiguous, man.
Wait a minute, we gotta say thank you to everybody who joined us. We really appreciate you over the last 20 weeks.
Tish is fine. Who is Tish Billings? I'm sorry.
Wow.
Really, Sean? I know her. I know Tish too, by the way. Tish,
you know everybody, Glenn. That doesn't help me.
Winecrawl family, baby. The Winecrawl family. I do know everybody. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for joining. For 20 weeks, this was an experiment that we decided to do, and it's turned out really well. Every week, we average over 1,000 views. So we ask you to please tag somebody, tell them about Man Cave, share it throughout the week. We appreciate you. We'll be back on next Saturday. We're trying to get Mel to do an after party and actually DJ, but we'll see what happens. If the money's right for that, because Mel will be sending invoices. So I won't get the check-in call this week. I'll get the "Where's my money" call. That's cool.
Hey, man.
We appreciate you all.
The sharing works, man. The sharing works because I know for a fact that Randy and Ishmael had not been on before, and I was very intentional about trying to share the show more. And so it definitely works, man, if we put that little extra effort in. And I apologize for cutting you off, Glenn. I thought you were done.
No, that's okay. Thank you to NDTV for giving us, the ability to do this. Thank you, Keisha, Raj, the whole team. Thank you guys, Mel and Shawn, for doing this too, because I appreciate you guys.
And based on what we said earlier, man, I love y'all.
I love you all.
Love you guys too.
Oh, that is so foul. That is so foul.
We love everybody except our producer, Raj. Let's just put it that way, because
that was so uncalled for.
How was
Keisha Rose said we gotta go, y'all.
We gotta go.
I am hurt, and that is so.
Man, I was about to put my own picture up there. I like that one.
Own it, Shawn. Just own it, brother.
Camped out at home for COVID? Join us, Indie TV, where you will see the talk shows, movies, drama, action, and comedy. Be the first and see it first. Sign up now for free at Indie TV.